The Keychron K2 is an entry-level wireless mechanical keyboard compatible with both Mac and Windows setups. I've been using the V2 version with my M1 Mac setup for a few months now, and it's definitely been a nice introduction to mechanical keyboards for me. As well as offering a concise review, in this video I'll also discuss how the K2 compares with using the Apple Magic Keyboard with Touch ID. So when you order the K2 V2, there are a number of options you need to consider. Firstly, you can configure the keyboard with either red, blue or brown Gateron switches, which vary in terms of characteristics. Red switches tend to have the quietest click and a soft key press during typing, while blue switches tend to be the loudest and require more force to press the keys. Brown switches fall somewhere in the middle. I opted for the red switches as I don't want my keyboard to be too loud when typing. I also prefer a softer key press. You can also choose between a plastic or aluminium frame and a white or RGB backlight. I went for the white backlight and plastic frame. I paid around £80 for the K2. I've left links to all my desk setup products in the description below. Straight out of the box, as well as the keyboard, you get a braided USB-C to A cable, an instruction card and user manual, as well as a keycap puller tool and a bag of keys so you can switch to a Windows layout. I should point out that the K2 can also be used for iOS and iPadOS. So design-wise, I must say I really like this keyboard. It looks great on my desk and has a really solid build quality for the price. As a 75% keyboard, it's also nice and compact, so should be a good fit for any desk setup. On the side of the keyboard you have a USB port, alongside a switch for Mac or Windows use, and another for choosing from either Bluetooth or wired connection. Battery life has been really good using Bluetooth. Keychron rates the battery life at 240 hours of use without the backlight, or 72 hours with the backlight or RGB effects on. I don't tend to use the backlight that much, which means I can go a couple of weeks without needing to recharge. The keyboard is set to automatically shut off after 10 minutes to preserve battery life. Hitting any key on the keyboard will wake it within a second or so. Typing on the K2 is a refined experience. The keys are responsive with a good amount of travel. For a mechanical keyboard it's also pretty quiet. The only slight negative is the spacebar feels a little wobbly, but it isn't really a big deal. The keyboard is on a slight slope. There are also feet you can deploy which increase the angle and aid comfort and ergonomics even further. Compared to using my Apple keyboard, I must say I do prefer the design and feel of the K2. The Apple Magic Keyboard is fine to use for general tasks, but it's a membrane laptop style keyboard that doesn't really offer any feedback. The K2 has far more tactile keys, and as such offers a more satisfying feel when typing. That being said, there is one killer feature the Apple keyboard has that the K2 doesn't: Touch ID. This is a super useful feature, so I still use the Apple keyboard sometimes. It's nice to have different keyboards so I can switch things up when I fancy a change. One other thing to note when comparing these keyboards, you'll notice that the K2 has quite a high profile when compared to the ultra low profile Apple keyboard. This isn't a big deal to me, but if you do a serious amount of typing you might notice some discomfort, so adding some kind of wrist support could be advisable. To conclude, I definitely recommend the K2 V2. It offers a nice entry point into the world of mechanical keyboards and won't break the bank either. It looks and feels great, supports multiple platforms and has solid battery life as well. That's a wrap for this video. I hope it helped you out. I've been Tom Hyphen. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for watching.